Delaware's transit service, moving forward.
New tonight, big changes may soon be coming to the downtown Dover skyline. Plus, an accused cop killer goes on trial next month. And a major Delaware craft brewery announces it will close its doors forever this weekend. Those stories and much more straight ahead tonight on DETV News. Hello and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks for being with us tonight. Making headlines today, a 27-year-old man is dead after a shooting in Wilmington Tuesday night. Wilmington police say they responded to the 1200 block of East 13th Street around 12:15 p.m. The location was on the west side of the Amtrak lines, not far from the Howard Young prison. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition, but later died. The shooting does remain under investigation and more details will be released when possible. Anyone with information about this shooting is asked to call 302-576-3649 or you can contact Delaware Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous. And a pedestrian was struck and killed in an accident that occurred on Wilton Boulevard in Newcastle. Police say the accident occurred near the intersection of Darien Court between 9:30 and 10 o'clock Tuesday night. The road was closed for nearly 5 hours this morning. Police said this is not a hit-and-run accident. Investigators are asking anyone who may have been in the area during that time or witnessed the collision or may have video surveillance of Wilton Boulevard at the time to please call 302-395-8048 or email the address that was seen on your screen as soon as possible. And we have an update for you on the fatal shooting in the Southbridge neighborhood of Wilmington that happened Monday night. The victim who succumbed to his injuries has been identified as 24-year-old Zaire Burton. Wilmington police said they found Burton, who was shot about 8:21 p.m. on the 400 block of South Claymont Street. Anyone with information about this incident is encouraged to call 302-576-3646 or you can contact Delaware Crime Stoppers at the information seen there on your screen. And a robbery at a bakery just outside of Ellesmere is under investigation today. Police say an employee was taking out the trash at Pastel Rojas Bakery on Kirkwood Highway shortly after 3 a.m. Tuesday when someone with a handgun pushed him back inside. The suspect kept the employee at gunpoint and 3 other workers were forced to kneel as he threatened to kill them and demanded cash from the registers as well as personal property. The victims did comply and the suspect left without hurting anyone. The suspect is described as a male wearing a dark-colored clothing. Anyone with information about this incident is asked to call Troop 2 at 302-365-8413 or again, Delaware Crime Stoppers seen there on your screen. And a Salisbury man is charged with the 2021 murder of Corporal Keith Hecook in Delmar has chosen a bench trial over a jury trial. That's according to the Delaware Department of Justice. A bench trial is both heard and decided by a judge alone involving no jury. In April 2021, Corporal Hecook responded to reports of a fight at a Yorkshire Estates home. Upon entering the home, Randon Wilkerson, seen here, allegedly attacked the officer. Witnesses said Wilkerson repeatedly stomped on Hecook's head while the corporal lay unconscious on the ground. Hecook was taken to a Baltimore hospital where he died 3 days later. Wilkerson faces 2 counts of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and assault with a possible life sentence if found guilty. The trial is slated to begin on October 16th down in Georgetown. Shifting gears to Kent County, big changes may be coming to downtown Dover with a proposal to build a 6-story building with retail shops and apartments on South Governors Avenue. The Downtown Dover Partnership, which owns the property, announced it has signed an agreement to begin planning the site where an old Acme supermarket once stood and is now home to an Auto Parts Plus store. The partnership put out a request for qualifications to develop the nearly 2-acre site and selected Mosaic Development and its partner Colonial Parking. Mosaic Development is based in Philadelphia, while Colonial Parking, as you may know, is based here in Wilmington. The intent is to have a business plan in place in 90 days. In the plan submitted, developers envision a mixed-use structure with apartments of different sizes, a small-scale grocery store, and other amenities. The start of the construction, which will take an estimated 30 months, will depend on approvals for this site. And Bank of America has announced it's increasing its hourly minimum wage to $23 an hour. Per the wage hike, which is effective in October, is just one stop on the bank's path toward a planned $25 minimum wage by the year 2025. The bank has increased its minimum wage for workers by at least $1 an hour each year since 2019, and this year's increase marks a minimum annualized salary for full-time employees of nearly $48,000. The new minimum for BOA is almost double the state of Delaware's minimum hourly wage of $11.75. Bank of America is just the latest employer to boost its bottom wage. Other major Delaware employers have increased their minimum wages in recent years, including JPMorgan Chase, where starting ranges go between $20 and $25 an hour, depending on the market. Last year, banking giant Barclays, which has its U.S. headquarters here on the riverfront, moved its minimum wage from $17 an hour to at least $20.50. And Blue Earl Brewing Company, a prominent Delaware craft brewery, is set to close its doors for the final time at the end of this week. This marks the second major Delaware craft brewery closure in just 2 months, raising concerns about the challenges faced by local brewers. The announcement of the closure was made on the brewery's social media pages earlier this week. Blue Earl Brewing will cease operations on Saturday, ending its nearly 8.5-year presence in Smyrna. The owner attributed the brewery's closure to the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and increased competition in the alcohol market. When Blue Earl Brewing Company first opened, it was the 7th microbrewery in the first state. The brewery quickly gained recognition for its music-themed brews and its role as a music venue. The brewery joins a growing list of Delaware craft breweries that have shut down in recent years. They include Dover's Fordham and Dominion, Newport's Twin Lakes Brewing Company, and Georgetown's 16 Mile Brewing. And residents in southern Newcastle County will have a new park starting tomorrow, Thursday. Newcastle County Executive Matt Meyer will cut the ribbon and officially open the 44-acre park on Shellcross Road. The park provides 1.5 acres of pathways and activities, including 8 pickleball courts, 2 tennis courts, 2 basketball courts, a playground, sledding hill. Acres of park will be left open space, which includes a pond, a meadow, and 2 multi-purpose fields. Newcastle County broke ground on the park a little less than a year ago. And take a look at this. A massive blue catfish caught in the Nanticoke River in Sussex County is a new Delaware state record. Chris Andrews, seen here, caught the fish, which weighed in at 48 pounds, 7.2 ounces, and measured 42.5 inches. It's the 4th state record of the year for the 2023 Delaware Sport Fishing Tournament. Andrews said fishing is a big part of his life, and he goes out on the water about 3 times a week. A Denrec Natural Resources Fish and Wildlife Police Sergeant certified the fish after it was weighed at a tackle shop down in Seaford. The previous state record for the blue catfish was 4 ounces lighter and was caught in 2022. And before we sign off, of all the Three's Company characters, it's not Jack, not Chrissy, and not Janet that has a nationwide fan following and their own bar crawl. Check this out. It's the curly-coiffed landlady, Mrs. Roper. Over the weekend, our very own Rehoboth Beach was the latest city to host a Mrs. Roper romp. Say that 3 times fast. Over 10 Rehoboth Beach restaurants offered food and drink specials to those in costume, as well as other surprises. 100% of the proceeds went directly to Westside New Beginnings and Rehoboth Beach Main Street. The Mrs. Roper phenomenon began 10 years ago in 2013 in New Orleans and has been growing in popularity ever since. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's edition of DETV News. Be sure to like and follow us across your favorite social media platforms. And for a look around what's happening around our state of Delaware, check out our website. That's detvch.com. With tonight's news, I'm Matt Ford. Join DETV News tomorrow night with Lauren Wilson. We'll see you then.